Why the fuck didn't you tell us somebody was in the bathroom? Slip your mind? Did you forget that someone was in there with a goddamn hand cannon?
You see the size of that gun he fired at us? It was bigger than him. We should be fucking dead, man.
I know we was lucky.
No. That shit wasn't love.
Yeah, maybe.
This was divine intervention. You know what divine intervention is?
I think so. That means that God came down from heaven and stopped the bullets?
That's right. That's exactly what it means. God came down from heaven and stopped these motherfucking bullets.
I think it's time for us to leave, Jules.
Don't do that. Don't fucking blow this shit off. What just happened here was a fucking miracle.
Chill, Jules. This shit happens.
Wrong. This shit doesn't just happen.
Do you want to continue this theological discussion in a car or in a jailhouse with the cops?
We should be fucking dead, my friend. What happened here was a miracle, and I want you to fucking acknowledge it.
All right, it was a miracle. Can we go now?
Let's go, nigga. Come on. Shit.
Dude, I swear that is a conversation Trump is having right now with his crew.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think, yeah. I think I don't know.
Oh, by the way, welcome to
before we
Skip
go
the
with
Noise
that,
podcast.
Before we get that, welcome to the Skip the Noise podcast, a Round Edge Media production. And first off, we could definitely we all know what we're going to talk about tonight. But so just to let everyone say, hey guys, sorry, we've been kind of up and down lately with the schedules and everything. We're going to still keep going. We may take some breaks here and there, but we're trying to keep this thing going. But I don't really think we have more of a. I think we don't have anything other than a choice but to do this shit, because we seem to be living in a continuous, like this continuous reel of historical like events. We literally cannot not have a fucking historical event not occur. It's just fucking madness. It's madness. So
I want a boring year. I want a fucking boring year. I want a year where nothing happens. Where
man, I
do everything. Stock market's doing. Even the stock market could stay stagnant.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm good with that. Go with that. I'm good. I hate and I remember it's so stupid. There's a video of 2012 that shows Obama and Romney before their debate. And Romney's like, hey, Michelle, and she's so awesome. And then Obama goes, hey, I remember when we hung out or something. And there is a different sense of reality and camaraderie, right? There was just a totally different perception of reality. And man, we're not there anymore. So unless you're living under a rock. Yesterday, which was July the 13th, there was an assassination attempt on former President Donald J. Trump, and currently the presumed to be Republican nominee for the 2024 presidential election, of course, against Joseph R. Biden, or that could be to be determined. That there's so many things we could discuss, but I think the number one thing to discuss tonight, and I think like you played that clip, the number one thing to discuss tonight is this assassination attempt.
And how close it was, bro.
Fucking
close.
Yeah, and from somebody that likes to dabble in the dark arts of firing weapons, people don't realize. So, and I think one of the guys that was there actually explained it best. Trump, when he was looking, did a slight inflection of his head. So, for everyone there, everyone who's listening, and of the two people that are listening, get your finger and put it on your middle of your forehead. Now, turn your head. Maybe if you can think of it as a clock. Turn your head to the 1 o'clock. That's all it took. If
Holy
you look
shit.
at Trump, when the bullet was coming, he actually turned his head slightly. Either he reacted to the sound of the bullet, which is possible, or he was just kind of looking towards someone else in the crowd.
No, I'll tell you. No, I'll tell you what he was looking at. I know the answer to this.
Huh?
He noticed the snipers next to him getting in active position.
Well, the
That's what he was
problem
looking
is
at.
the
He was looking at the
snipers.
snipers.
Well,
in
no,
active
the
position.
snipers that took him out were behind him. They may have been some other people moving.
No, but he
What?
looked at them. He saw them. He saw the snipers getting in active position. That was a concerning thing to him.
Yeah.
Because he's done hundreds of these rallies.
Well, no, but this was the first shot. When the first shot rang out and he touched his ear, before he did that, if you watch the video, there's an ever so slight, like I said, keep your finger on the middle of your forehead and turn your head like it's 1 o'clock. Literally, we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, 1.5 inches of inflection, or even actually an angle change, if you want to be scientific about it, maybe 10 to 20% max. And that was the difference between Donald J. Trump losing a piece of his ear or being presumably gone.
Losing the back of his skull.
Yeah.
Dude,
And it's, yeah, very close. I've never seen anything like this before.
Holy
Never,
shit,
ever
bro.
seen it.
Like,
that was
imagine-
a miracle.
imagine
him.
the state of the country had that gunman succeeded right now.
Oh God, the state of this country would be in
Been-
pure chaos. Pure chaos.
Pure chaos.
And I think we're getting close to descending into pure chaos now. But had the unfortunate happen, and mind you, look, I think this needs to be said. I do not like that man. I despise everything he does. I do not like any of the things he says. You know, you've heard of me years and years bitching about this guy. But
I like him.
the truth of the matter is, as much as I despise him, our system is not created to be this way. We only, and I try to say this in the most, I guess, PC way, only a pussy can't take an ass whooping. If you are going to lose, take defeat like a man. A man is defined by defeat, not by always winning. And that's the problem, is you have people that cannot take an ass whooping. You have people that cannot take defeat. And those are the people that become these stupid, whatever they are, these mentally deranged, these savant, because people can't take the concept that they're going to lose.
It's
And
usually
that's
the
a
left.
big fucking problem, huh?
It's usually the left.
Well,
I mean,
right
you
too.
know,
Come
this-
on. Oh, okay. Look, Timothy McVeigh took out a whole building of children when he took out the
Yeah,
Oklahoma City
but-
bombing. I mean, Ted Kaczynski, straight up Republican, very libertarian, very right wing. I mean, multiple mail bombs.
Well, was he right though?
I think it's for both sides, in my opinion.
Probably.
more
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to fast forward a little bit further, but we're going to go back to this Trump
Yeah.
thing. Right. Joseph Biden's speech tonight from the Oval Office was pathetic.
I
Fucking
would
pathetic, bro. No,
I would disagree.
I'll tell you
I would
why.
disagree.
He's out here saying we need to unite more than ever. We can't let the events of January 6th or the kidnapping of a governor or, you know, a bunch of all these right-wing bullshit that he lists off. Okay.
Well,
I mean,
right.
he could have blended in something like we can't tolerate January 6th or the burning of courthouses or, you know, the assassination attempt of Brett Kavanaugh, some shit like that, you know? And
well,
that,
I get what you're saying. I
that's
do.
what's
I
wrong with the
understand.
country. That's when you know his speechwriters are women.
Oh,
Ever had a
boy.
woman try to apologize and she just brings up shit like,
Oh,
I'm
boy.
sorry I'm such an asshole. You know, like,
Wait, is this therapy? Or is
yes,
the
this is fucking
podcast
therapy,
tonight?
bro. I'm telling you. Anyway, why go that route?
Well,
You're gonna
okay.
blend in some series of events that are extremists. Put it on both sides.
What right? And I think the problem is that yeah, you know, he could have reached historically, right? There was assassination attempts on that were committed by socialists and liberals. I mean, to be quite honest with you, lots of them. But that was it's the way things swing, right? I think if you look at the early 1900s, it was actually anarchist, right? 20s to the 40s, World War II, all that, mainly socialist. And then you see post 50s, 60s, a right-wing movement kind of explodes. So I think it's a cycle, right? So
yeah,
who knows? This guy could be the beginning of the liberal cycle. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, though, as limited scope as Democrats have, I think his speech did try to at least attempt to communicate to the normal moderates in this country. I think he was trying to say, look, guys, we don't have place for violence. And January 6th was violence. And a fucking person died that day.
Well, at the hands of the government.
No, but nonetheless, and same thing with this guy today. Oh, not yesterday. He died at the hands of the government. This is happening. People are dying. Right? And I'm not saying that, and I'm not even trying to go on ideology, but the fact of the matter is, our political discourse is supposed to be done with words. And I thought, like what he said, not bullets. And if we lose that, then we've become nothing.
Well, he said that we should set us in the battle box.
Yes.
The battle box.
He thinks, I mean, look, I'm not going to comment too much on his mental fatigue. I mean, we all know, that we could, if we touch on that a little bit later, I think, in my opinion, hashing out the discourse about what happened to Trump is significantly a big deal.
Talk about this real quickly. That Biden is kind of like that old computer that you kind of have faith on. You know what? Okay, if it's slowing down a little bit, it's fine. I'm still going to use it. Okay, it freezes sometimes. Okay, but not all the time. But now you turn on the fucking computer and it glitches all the fucking time. Like he can't even go through a speech without glitching. Anyway, I'm just gonna put that in there.
No, let's be honest. Like the dude. Okay, look, the dude is fucking for real. Like he is definitely he's definitely not there. Right? Let's be honest.
He's not. No, he's not.
He's not there. So, but that being aside, I think he was trying to strike a middle tone because a majority of Americans do not want violence.
Yeah,
in politics.
His speech was pathetic, bro.
No, because it brought up January 6th.
No, because it brought up all this dumb shit that supposedly the right does. They didn't list anything about. I was really waiting for him to say, you know, we can't have January 6th. We can't have the burning of courthouses. We can't have whatever, the kidnap of a governor, which has been debunked. And then we can't have the assassination attempts of Supreme Court justices. Like, go back and forth. Talk about both sides. This dude only went one side on purpose. That's not uniting the country. This is the guy who came up with Dark Brandon, that red background behind him, talking about a population of Americans that wants to make America great again. No, dude.
Right. Well, look, you know,
he can't. He can't.
Right, but nonetheless, this is pathetic. This is pathetic. Well, I wouldn't say this, but I think he was trying to strike a tone. There has been a ratcheting up on both sides, right? Because you have the conservatives.
I would never know that if I had watched Biden tonight.
Well, there's been a wrap up on. Well, look, I look. Let's be honest. Republicans aren't going to say the same. The initial statements that came out of the Republican Party was that Biden's behind this and that they weren't funding the Secret Service, which has all been debunked. Secret Service, everyone knows. Nobody wants him to get hurt because let's be honest, this moment has galvanized the legacy of Trump in American history for time immemorial. So nobody really wanted that. That would have been a horrible political strategy. To be quite honest with you, they probably sent more people because they knew if something happened, it would literally galvanize them, and it has. So I think there has been both sides saying stupid shit. But the reality is that the core of his message, which is we need to fucking calm down, is a valid message. And we all need to because, dude, we were an inch and a half from a fucking civil war.
Not even an inch, bro.
From a real civil war. And I'm not playing, ladies and gentlemen.
We're talking about centimeters. Centimeters.
We're talking about,
It grazed his hair. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it cut a little piece of his hair off.
we're talking about millimeters, right? Centimeters, whatever the fuck. We're talking about, that's how close we got to a civil war. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We are on the precipice of a fucking complete political implosion. This has become what should have been a meme. These two old presidents running against each other has become an existential crisis for this country, where you have two sides that have now completely enveloped themselves and cannot in any way cooperate, which is disgusting. The right can't be like, the first thing the right says is Biden's behind it, and the first thing the left says is this was staged. How can both sides be so detrimental to the future of the United States? It almost makes you want to get rid of both sides. In my opinion.
You can't. Both sides have been around. This is what caused the Civil War, the first one.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It was right versus left. I mean, of course, the left started it, but
for sure. For sure. But guess what? Here we are in a horrible fucking situation.
This goes back to the American Revolution, if you think about it.
Well,
I mean, they needed to defeat the British, and they wanted to recruit the southern states, even though they had ideological differences.
Yeah,
that's how this. And they knew that this was going to be a problem.
But But the Union won in '65 under a Republican president, and the Union stands. And whether you're from the North or the South, you have to respect the fucking fact that you're still an American. Whatever the fucking game you play is, it's all a game. You assholes, there's some crazy people out there not realizing that this is a fucking game, folks. Biden and Trump, in the end, do not give a fuck about you.
Trump gives a fuck about me.
No, he does not. He does not. He does not wake up and go to bed worried about fucking Rick. And Biden doesn't even know where the fuck he is, because his fucking, whatever, his wife or his son or someone's keeping him in that shit. This fucking geriatric abuse we're watching.
Yeah, dude.
But in the end, guess what? They don't give a fuck about you. And to do these type of things and to kill people, come on, folks. Like, I get it. We're all tired. We're all angry. We know that Trump's going to fuck everything up when he goes into office. But the same is going to happen if Biden wins. It doesn't fucking really matter at this point. The only thing that matters is trying to find a way back from the fucking edge.
Can I talk about what the response was from the Secret Service on that day?
Oh God! I mean, we can dissect that. That
is some fucked up shit. Okay.
Well, before we go there, let's rattle off some statistics about this gentleman. The alleged shooter, been confirmed by the FBI. Yep, is Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20 of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. A lot of shit flying around about this guy, apparently, and this is all conjecture, anecdotal.
He's Antifa.
No, it's not Antifa, but he definitely was it seems to be a bullied young man. He had no military training, from what it seems like. He actually just graduated with a junior college degree. What do they call that again? My brain just blanked.
Community college degree?
Yeah. He's like, what do they call it?
An associate?
Associate's degree. He just graduated in May with an associate's degree. He worked at worked at the Bethel Park Skilled Nursing and Rehabilitation Center.
Oh, Jesus.
Worked as a dietary aide. Everyone said he was wonderful. Even the people that he worked with, his father, everybody, they just are trying to wrap their mind around it. People said he was a loner in school, was bullied continuously and made fun of because he rarely wore hunting outfits and people made fun of the way he dressed. Said he sat alone at lunch. He was an outcast, very quiet. He was on his own all the time. That's and of course some people throw in that he was bullied or not, but that's kind of up and down.
There's just been this weird conspiracy theory for a while now.
Yeah,
that the government or the CIA can tap into people's minds and trigger them to do certain things.
Bro, some fucking weird happen.
I mean,
look,
how do you get, dude, for a guy with no military experience, how the fuck do you get that close to that shot?
It's a good shot. I mean, okay, look.
And did you see the pictures? There's no scope on that thing.
Yeah, he did. He had no optics. So he was firing straight off the iron. So, I mean, let's take a look at what we're looking at. We're looking at about a football. So if you want to look at distance, maybe a football field, maybe a football field and a half. Maybe 150 yards flat. So to hit that shot, it's not. I'm not easy. I'm not going to say it's in the astronomical range, right? If you're a proficient shooter, you can make that shot. It's not astronomical, but
what do you mean by proficient?
It's not an easy shot either, huh?
When you say proficient, this is what goes into it. To make that shot, you have to, one, of course, be in line of sight. Two, take into effect the wind. Okay, you got to take it to
well, on a 150, gravity. Not so much. Not on a 150. When you start going over the 400 or 500 yard, that's when the bullets start slowing down minimally. But that's when you have to start worrying about wind shear.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you have a significant wind, we're talking about like gale type winds and stuff.
He was at the perfect height too.
Huh?
He was at the perfect height.
Well, no, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, that he did that. The shot, and I looked at the shot, and I because part of me was like, is this guy military trained? Is he not? Or something like that. The shot was a shot. It was not an easy shot, but it was not like a death-defying shot. Like, to be quite honest with you, you give most people a 22 long range that shoot guns, they could probably get pretty close to the same results as he got. So
no,
yeah,
I've tried it.
You give me. I mean, you give me that. I could hit it.
I had a 22 Magnum, a 22 Magnum rifle, and with a scope, and I was terrible at it.
With the long range, so it depends. If you're in 22 Magnum, so the long range round, probably that's the one thing about a 22. It has very little recoil. So it does. So the repeaters are pretty consistent to where you were shooting. So the dude overall, I think it was not the hardest shot, in my opinion.
Okay, that leads to the other thing. What the fuck happened to Secret Service, and why did they allow him to perch on that roof?
Well, right, and that's a big thing. So I think that's what we're that. And so at first, of course, my mind thought conspiracies and jumped around, but then I really started getting a new mantra, and I take it from South Park because South Park fucking knows everything. There was after 9/11, South Park did a wonderful episode called The Mystery of the Urinal Deuce, where somebody kept taking a shit in the urinal. And it led to this conspiracy all the way to the point to where George W. Bush was laying these secret files about conspiracies and what the government's doing behind everybody's back. Because in the end, I think it was Kyle or Stan explained that the government more than likely maintains a facade that they're in control. But to be quite honest with you, they're not. And the older I get, the more I realize, holy shit, that's really fucking true. Like we're a couple of fuck ups. Like literally they're fuck ups. So this screw up is so consistent with someone just fucking up that to me, it takes a lot of the conspiracy theory out, except for the placement of the shooter. But even then, there was reports that people were already telling the cops that, hey, there's this fucking asshole up here with a rifle.
Yeah.
And the cops weren't there. And then by the time I think the Secret Service received the signals, there were supposedly two. That this is something I heard. I can't confirm, but what I did hear was a shooter had the shot, but had to wait for clearance to take the shot.
No.
Yes. So
no, dude, that cannot be right.
That's
bro.
what, but that's what I'm trying to tell you. There's a significant breakdown in the chain of command, in communication, in procedures and protocols. From so in I think from 250 yards out, everything's supposed to be cleared out in one of these events. Because when you get over 250, that's a hard shot, especially for aiming for a head, which is the assassin. It's not exactly, to be quite honest with you, it's not the proficient shot, right? If I'm shooting at a target with no sights, I'm not going for the head, right? I'm going for the body, because the body is a significantly easier target to hit. It's, you know, way longer, significantly wider. That's what you're going for. But that's, you know, that's neither here nor there. But they clear out that area. This guy, if you guys have a chance to look at some of his photos, which there's quite a bit now that outline where he was laying on a hot tin roof.
Yeah.
150 yards away with a clear line of sight from Trump. Why the fuck wasn't there already Secret Service there? Or why aren't there drones? I mean, a simple drone in the sky with a camera would have spotted this whole event. I mean,
you would, you know, you watch these movies and you think, oh, infrared drones,
exactly.
see people on groups. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's all a fallacy, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have superpowers. Like a couple of years back, an asshole. Remember
going to?
Yeah, remember the White House when that asshole crashed his plane to the White House lawn? Did missiles come flying out of the ground like everyone thinks?
No.
Was there like a special electric shield that prevented it from? No. Honestly, the dude could have slammed into the White House and there was nothing they could have done. Guys, I just think we're really that bad. This was somebody's mistake. This was somebody not forwarding the TPS cover page with his report. This was just pure and utter but negligence.
Do you realize now how vulnerable the Secret Service is now? They've exposed their vulnerabilities.
Oh yeah.
Easy.
Oh yeah.
Look at, do you see all the mijas out there taking care of Trump? There are like 3 of them.
I don't even know about that.
And like they're fucking university interns taking care of the president. They're in the Secret Service. They can't even holster their gun because they're goddamn fat, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was.
Look, I'm not gonna call it.
How do you have Secret Service taking care of a 6 foot man with
6'3",
6'3" with 5'4" women? 3 of them.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be covering the president? You think these bitches are going to get in the line of sight? They're not built for that. Men are. Men run into the problems. Women run away.
Well,
it's nature.
Look. Okay. Well, look.
I'm just saying, dude. Like, this is some fucked up shit. What's going on? Is this DEI?
No,
are the DEI hires? Are they trying to reach their women quota?
Well, from what I hear, the president kind of chooses their security details, because they are pretty intimate, like they're around them all the time. So the president can choose their details. But what I think probably plays a little bit of a part of it, and this is by no way Trump's fault at all, but there has been continuous chatter that he has kind of fatigued his detail, because he does do multiple events, which is that's what happens during presidential elections. But he also ignores and has been kind of a pain in the ass for the Secret Service in regards to listening to their security recommendations. And that's Trump, though, right? Trump is that guy who wants to be out in front of the people, and unfortunately, most politicians that have been that way have ended up, with a problem. Reagan, I mean, look what happened to the Pope, John Paul. I mean, the fucking Pope walking a crowd got shot in the stomach. Now every Pope rides in the Pope Mobile. You know that
Yeah, the
glad
one,
bulletproof grass colored vehicle. So I
Yeah.
think this is just a significant amount of fatigue from the Secret Service. But at the same time, I think that this was just such a calamitous melody of errors. I just can't. It's madness.
Do you see how I called them mijas? Oh, mija,
Yeah.
she's a Secret Service.
I did.
Mija.
Not only did I hear that, I tried. Dude, look, I bet those girls can.
Yeah,
I think
mijita.
they can shoot their guns. Right?
Mijita's playing Secret Service. So that's so cute.
I think they can shoot their guns. Hey, good for
No,
them.
they can't. No, they can't. They,
I
can't
think
fucking they can't even holster that shit, man. Come on.
Probably shoot better than me. Probably shoot better
No,
than
they
me.
can't.
But
No, they
what
can't.
I'm saying is,
You can punch them in the face and they'll go down easy.
it was a bad idea. It was a bad idea, though. And to be quite honest with you, of course, Trump and dude, I don't have any issues with somebody, and he knows how to capitalize. I mean, the balls on him to capitalize the moment that he
Do you
had.
see the end of it? Do you see the ending of that?
Oh yeah,
Fist pump.
fight.
Dude, that's iconic.
No, it's not. I mean, yeah, no.
That's
so
iconic.
we were
It's
kind
right,
of.
it's right up there with the mugshot.
Oh, well, it's beyond that. I think we were talking about this before the podcast just to kind of start warming up. And the reality is I mean, you have moments in history that occurred. You have Washington crossing the Delaware. You have Teddy Roosevelt finishing his speech after being shot. You have Reagan saying, Gorbachev, tear down this wall. You have, you have Bill Clinton playing the what's it called? Saxophone on what was that?
Saxophone.
What's the name of it? Arsenio Hall show?
Yeah.
You have, you have these moments, these iconic moments. You have Abraham Lincoln give. If there was a camera available for all these, which there were, this is a moment that will go down in American history. This man has cemented himself as almost an American legend, to be quite frank.
And it's your opportunity to vote for him.
And I'm not going to vote for him.
Come on, dude.
Come
on. Dude, you're going to vote for
Look, man, I give him respect. Look, a lot of things I respect, bro. I respect dudes that wear pink. I'm not doing it. I respect a lot of things, but when it comes down to it, you still have to believe in what you believe in. But I don't see a path for victory for Biden at all. Because this has galvanized his support. And if you don't think that this has just woke up the giant that woke up in 2016 for him, you got another thing coming, because he was already winning, ladies and gentlemen. And now he has got a fired up electric base that is ready to fucking take heads. And I think this is done. I think I would like to see, though, before the end of this, I really would like to see him and Biden sit down and act as human beings towards each other to kind of start quelling some of this anger. I think it would be a nice thing.
I was thinking about that. And what needs to happen is this, because this didn't happen the first time. Trump needs to go to the White House and finish the transfer of power. Yeah. They need to sit down in the same room and finish the transfer of power.
And are just shake hands. Shake hands and look at each other and both pledge that they both want the best for this country. And that individuals that, I just look, man, Trump's a dick. I do not agree with this shit. And Biden's not really there. But in the end, we have to start thinking of each other as human beings. And the sad fucking thing is there's a 50-year-old man who died, who was a fucking father because of this bullshit. Just like that chick who died on January 6th. I get it, folks. We want to start a revolution. We want things to change. We're frustrated because we hate the cards we've been dealt with. The 90s were fucking great. The early 2000s were great. Shit was rolling, and we all wish we had it. But guess what, folks? The politicians ain't saving you, man. This isn't about who you vote for. It's about the change we have to elect, not only in ourselves, but in the system that we have placed too much faith in. We are run by two large corporations, one being the DNC and the other one being the GOP. And we have allowed them to entrench themselves in power. And it's tearing our union apart.
I mean, it almost did back in 1865, right?
Yep, and it's doing it now. People don't realize the DNC and the GOP are registered corporations. These are companies, folks, that have balance sheets. And how and where do you think they get their money from? Because they
from
sell
everywhere.
Yeah, well, no, what how do they both get their money? They sell influence. Do you not see that these motherfuckers have sold us all down the river? And we sit there and we go to their conventions like a bunch of freaking morons? Cheering. Yeah. You know, like, oh my God. Yeah, go DNC. It's almost as bad as the assholes who go watch a football game and get into a fight.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid.
Think about it. It's the same thing. Folks, the DNC is the same as...
Unless the guy from who was behind you threw a beer at you or your girl, you know?
But that's how it starts, right? That's how it starts, right?
Yeah.
How many times have I can't tell you. So it's funny. I went to a Dallas Mavericks game here many years ago.
Okay, that's
I went in my Houston Rockets jersey because it was the Rockets versus the Mavs. And man, I talk shit. God, ladies and gentlemen, I have a fucking ability to talk shit.
I've seen it.
And you know what?
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking amazing. And then, you know, there's this other guy next to me, big ass dude, Mavs fan. And he was getting annoyed, but he was laughing, and he would jab back, and we kind of fucked with each other. But then there was this old fucking boomer, 3 rows up, that turns around and starts screaming, "Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!" Oh, and
You're not even talking to him, huh?
And then me and the Mavs guy look at each other, right? And we start laughing at the boomer. And then the Mavs guy's like, "Who is this fucking guy?" He's like, hey, grandpa, you need your panties on?" Like, because that's what America was. America used to be me and the Mavs guy who were talking shit to each other, right? Both know physically we're not afraid of each other, but fucking jabbing each other. But then you see some fucking prick try to escalate it or can't handle it. And we both started making fun of that guy. And like literally we're like laughing about how this one asshole took it too far. That's what America has become. It's become the old boomer who can't take shit. It's become the fucking, you know, and I'm not saying you have to be abused and you allow that. But that's what's happening.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's what America's become now. It's that one boomer guy. But I don't know. Could it be the culture of like, you know, those scoreless soccer games that people would take their kids back in the mid 2000s? I mean,
dude, bro, scoreless soccer games are
loses?
The best. You know what? We you know what? We have unfairly painted scoreless soccer games as if they are not just the most gut-wrenching, amazing things in the world. They're fucking
I made my son throw away his participation medal. Like, throw that shit away. You didn't earn it.
I don't know. I mean, look.
You know, and I told him, Austin, you know, who won? I don't know. No one kept scoring. Well, I did. Guess what? You fucking lost.
I mean, dude, I grew up as a Gen Xer, man. We got our orange slices on the soccer field too. But I think there's just the inability for people to lose, right? The inability for people to get and go, I'm not necessarily, you don't have to say you're wrong. You just have to take the L, right? If I got into an argument with somebody and he beat my ass, there you go. dude.
You
Okay.
live to fight another day.
But did I go try to, beat him up again or jump him or no? I lost. I lost that point. Guess what? Whether he was wrong or right, whatever it was, when it came to the trial by combat, I lost.
Yeah, like that one time I whooped you ass in pharmacy school. I remember
No,
that.
that never happened. That never happened. I saved you from getting your ass whooped. Okay, so I don't want to hear about that shit. I mean, it's funny. I'm over here. I'm the fucking liberal Rambo, and this is the fucking. He's Rick is definitely not the liberal Rambo, as I'm the one who trains like combat sports 5 or 6 times a week and takes tactical shooting.
Well, there's a chick who gave me a problem in class. I remember.
Yeah, that one. She started giving you an Indian burn. Look,
yeah,
I think I think that's part of it, but just kind of continuing with this crazy situation. Trump released what I thought were mature statements, in a sense. I think he learned from January 6th. And
okay,
good or bad or not, I think he did learn. I think in January 6th, he was very immature. And he was stupid.
and he knows it.
But I think with this situation, and I haven't seen what he's going to say at the RNC, so Lord knows. I could be eating my own words pretty soon. But at least his initial statements were, look, this is what happened. Of course, in his own Trumpian words, I felt the bullet rip through my flesh, which is a factual statement. I imagine he did. But he did state that violence does not have a place in this. He did accept he did have a conversation with Joe Biden. They have talked, at least. And that was not denied by the Trump campaign either. So I think he's learned from January 6th. I think he understands that, holy shit, maybe we've ratcheted it up a little bit too much. So this, I do have to agree with him. I think that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway,
I could tell.
there was something going. There's something. There was something walking across this car that was
interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah,
very interesting. But nonetheless, I think that Trump did learn from January 6th. Instead of releasing some crazy shit where he's like, fucking liberals, just they tried to kill me. Biden tried to kill me. He didn't.
Fuck the deep state or some shit like that.
I mean, that could have lit some dudes up, but it didn't. And I'm glad. I think hopefully he's, maybe a near-death experience. You never know, man.
What do you think is going through his head right now? I mean,
I think and I'm not trying to be a punk, but he's a rich kid. He's a rich kid, never got hit. Really got hit. And I think this is real now. I think this is really fucking real now for him.
Is it fucking with his head?
I don't know. We don't know, right? We don't know that Trump.
Mean,
you motherfuckers may be all like clamoring and Trump.
Yeah,
this motherfucker might jump in and just socialize medicine and shit because he saw the light. I mean, we don't know.
I think he's like, fight. Then he gets into the car and starts like crying. Or something.
Dude, yeah, I guarantee you that man has cried several times, like any normal man should. And guys,
I would have fucking cried, bro. I would have been like, fight, and they get in the car and just start like bawling my eyes out.
Well, remember, also he's all amped on adrenaline. He's smart though. I mean, and people could say whatever about the photo op. Why wouldn't you? You literally just survived death, right? I have taken a piss and not hit the seat and was really pumped. This guy literally got grazed by a bullet. His life was right there. And I really think that was a guttural feeling. And it was a little staged. He told the guys, wait right here,
But that was visceral though. That was
a visceral,
Like that was not
taking
planned.
I'm not taking away from Trump. That was
That was who he
that's
was. That's who he is.
I mean, of course, knew that the shooter was down, but even so, to react that way in that moment, it was pretty. I mean, it was ballsy. The dude fucking went all in, man. But what does this do for Trump in the future? Does this put in that sounds stupid? Does this put gun control on the table for him?
Maybe
Being an actual gun violence victim now.
Yeah,
because he's never been there. Maybe this puts gun control on the table. Maybe he says, look, guys, this gun problem is a fucking problem. And if there was someone who could probably fix it, it would be him. Can't be Joe Biden. Can't be anyone from the left. It's got to be someone from the right. So who knows? We may see gun control laws roll out because of this. We may see more mental health. I mean, I pray that these type of things don't happen. It's stupid. We don't need this. We are a civilized country. And for all you dipshits out there who are training in the backwoods or are sharpening your pickaxes to burn down federal buildings.
I'm sure they're listening to us.
Got both.
All right,
whoever the fuck y'all are. What you're doing is not effective change. Because even the French Revolution only lasted a little while.
Yeah, and they went back to the king.
Exactly. And they guess what they did?
Yeah.
They ran right back.
Yeah, they did.
They ran right back.
Right after they got Napoleon left, the monarchy came back.
Yep. Right after, folks. And guess
nothing
what?
happened.
Nothing happened. They went right back to their ways, gave all the rich people back their shit, and c'est la vie. So
yeah.
But this is just I had to just say, like, just we're living in a time of consequence, a time of pivotal change, a time of information overload. And we are now pushing ourselves in every instance to the brink of total destruction.
You know what it is? You mentioned that, you and that guy in the stands, were kind of ribbing each other, this and that. That's because you guys didn't have a stake in the game, obviously, because you're spectators. Okay.
Well, but see,
and that's okay.
Right.
That's cool.
Okay. I guess
so. Now, think about what's going on with people. They're losing their jobs. We just got out of COVID. We haven't fully recovered from that. There's a huge disparity now between rich and poor. You're starting to see more homeless people, more drug use, more illegal immigrant crime. And they're getting desperate, dude. They're getting desperate. Now, think about this. Your favorite, the Mavericks guy, probably, I don't know, let's just say he's going to lose $10,000 if they lose. And you're going to lose, another 20 if you lose.
Right.
Now that shit talking gets a little bit more elevated. It becomes a little bit more serious. You take it a little bit more personal.
Right.
And that's what's happening now. America's in such a bad state right now that when we listen to these two assholes talk, and the right and the left, red and blue, it's the game of stakes now. Holy shit. If this guy wins, I'm going to lose my job. Or if this guy loses, my kids are going to grow up in a violent America. That's what it's become now, because it's not like the way it was in the 90s. So you say, like you said, the 90s were great. The 2000s were great. It wasn't until 2012.
Awesome. Sweet. Yeah, you know what it was? The fucking Mayan thing.
We had like 10 years of prosperity.
Oh, we had probably, honestly, mid 90s, probably mid 90s to right around
to the mid 2000s. Yeah,
unprecedented growth.
We have so much prosperity that people in government were like, whatever, choose a milquetoast guy like Romney, or choose the milquetoast like McCain, or Bush, the safe bets. But now America has become so, I don't know how to say this, fucked up.
Polarized. It's completely polarized.
But the reasons behind it is because the disparity is so different now. It's so different times.
Well,
I'm not saying that times haven't been bad, but I'll tell you what makes it worse. I'm going to say it's the internet. Okay? You got these influencers, these people who are younger, taking flights to Dubai, having the great life, and people see that every day and they want it and they can't have it because they don't understand what the reality is on the ground, and they get desperate. They can't accept the fact that they're never going to achieve that. And you get this polarization. Anyway, that's just my take on it.
Well, no, and I think what your point's very valid. I think that's definitely a part of the problem. And I think right now we have unprecedented, unparalleled access to information. And to be quite honest with you, information that has made people act like they're fucking they're fucking smart when they're not.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you have flat earthers talking about using like laser gyroscopes in order to try to prove that the earth is fucking flat. I mean, there's some asshole who just spent like $150,000 on a super sensitive like laser gyroscope that, oh, if it shows that it moves or something, then the earth's spinning, the earth's round. And it showed that, right? Still didn't fucking believe it. Dude, the reality is we have so much information and people think when they digest it that they understand it.
Yeah.
And they really don't. I think Terrence Howard was on the Joe Rogan show not so long ago. Terrence Howard, the actor.
Yeah.
And there's another guy, Brett Weinstein. Not that I particularly respect Brett Weinstein or Joe Rogan in those aspects very much, but in a funny way, it was like they were explaining who they were. Like Brett Weinstein, on the other hand, yes, he's a noted scholar, very smart dude, way smarter than me, like crazy good degrees. Whether or not he's a good researcher and stuff, that's always up to whatever. But nonetheless, you saw Terrence Howard talking about all this wild shit, like 1 × 1 doesn't equal 1, it equals 2, and all this
4 + 4 = 5, some shit like that. Yeah.
It's funny, he was talking in the language of mathematics. And I think Brett Weinstein put it well in like summarizing his position regarding him. He's like, dude, you are a smart guy. You definitely understand the terms, but in the real application, which requires years of vigorous practice and study, you literally have no idea what you're saying. So many people have these terms. They understand these terms. They say these terms. But in reality, when it comes to actual practical application or understanding what's really happening, they have no fucking idea. But they feel like they do. And I think that's what's fucking everybody up. You have somebody, and I'm not trying to say shit, but you have someone like Joe Rogan saying like he understands medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Rogan doesn't understand fucking thing about medicine. He talks about shit that he has no idea about. And I'm not a vaccine person, whatever, but he will talk about his own product when he talks about this particular product called Alpha Brain, whatever. And he says, oh, it's backed by a double-blind, placebo-controlled test, right?
Okay.
1 test was done.
What was the
COVID vaccine
population size?
Yeah. The COVID vaccine, there's over 1,000 tests done. And while I don't agree with what was initially stated about it, but if you're going to tell me you're going to believe science that you do one time versus you cannot comprehend or understand science or this is stupid or they're wrong, even though they did it 1,000 times. Folks, these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And I think it's causing this rift because we have so much information. It's almost like in the Garden of Eden, right? The story. God, basically says, look, you can eat all these other fruit, but don't eat fruit from this tree.
That damn woman.
The forbidden knowledge. And I think sometimes ignorance is bliss. I think people have gotten to the point that they have so much information that it's now becoming toxic in a way. There's a lot of people that are not meant to fucking do these things. And I know that sounds elitist, and I'm not trying to say it. But even our forefathers, the people that we so wax and wane about, these guys were they believed in 2 different schools of thought. You had Locke and you had Rousseau. You had the belief that human beings were inherently good beings, but they were stupid. And then you had another belief in which they thought human beings were inherently evil and fickle, but also stupid. That was the schools of thought that formed us. What is the common denominator from both those things? That we're fucking stupid. And that's what we are. And folks, that's it. I really that's my opinion. I think that's really what we've done. We've made too many Sunday quarterbacks. We've made too many people that are browsing through science and
too many armchair lawyers.
And now, no, the scary thing is we have armchair doctors now.
Oh yeah.
Armchair scientists, armchair politicians.
Oh, just read Reddit, man.
Yeah.
Reddit's full of that shit.
No, that's what I'm saying. But now everyone thinks they're an expert. And then guess what? When people start believing the wrong
comment section.
Yeah, or the wrong expert, right? I mean, think about it. If we had two experts, one explaining how the Earth's flat, and then another expert saying, well, no, motherfucker, it's round. If the Earth is flat guy had a better presentation, because that's all it takes now. He's cooler. He's anti this and anti that. And, he has a better hair. And, I mean, they're going to believe him. I mean, look at Kennedy versus Nixon. The reason why Nixon lost to Kennedy was because
Kennedy was younger, better looking.
Well, also, there was a wonderful new invention called the TV. And Kennedy was tan and healthy looking. And I don't know what they did to Nixon that day. They put extra paler makeup on him. But he looked like death. And that's why fucking Kennedy won. The appearances, things of that nature.
How did Biden win? I don't get it.
Biden won because you know what? The existential crisis that is now leading to the problems we're having now. Yeah. Just like Trump sold his soul to win. Let's be frank, everybody. Trump doesn't give a shit about abortion. Hell, he probably paid for half of them in New York State himself. But he sold his soul to get power. Because he's doing things he doesn't even believe in. To just get power.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank God he survived though. Jesus, he survived.
I don't give a fuck. If you're out there saying that man should have died, you're an asshole. You are a hypocrite, and you should not consider yourself American, nor should you consider yourself any type of fucking human being.
And I'm sorry for that 50-year-old man that died, bro.
That is a fucking shame.
He was a volunteer firefighter. He was a brother. He was a son.
Yeah.
And he just went there to support Trump, man. That's all he was there to do.
Yeah, and he is protecting his children, shielding them from gunfire. Guy's a fucking hero. But the same thing, if you go out there thinking that something should happen to the president, the current president, you're also a piece of shit. Yeah. Guys, this is a fucking debate. This is for nerds. This is for people who are trying to steal money from you but make it seem like they're not.
Which they've already have. That's where we have inflation.
I've already stole all the money. Trust me.
It's gone.
It's gone. Exactly. PPP loans. Fucking,
that's why a level break costs $10, man.
I hate to say this, Pelosi got a good chunk of it. Apparently, sure, her portfolio is up to $275 million now.
Shit, man.
These guys are all thieves, guys. But we should not be wishing for the death of anybody. Remember, guys, we don't, life is an experience. I don't agree with Trump, but I don't think that bad things should happen to people. Just like, it's just dumb to think that. It makes you a hypocrite. Makes you weak. If you cannot stand on your own, then you're weak. And if that's what you have to do to end the argument, you're weak. But anyways.
Yep.
Just crazy.
Well, that ends our show for today, man. I think we've said everything we had to say.
Fuck. Yeah. And I just,
you know what though? We were going to take a break, but shit's gotten so fucking crazy, man. We got to come here and talk about this.
I don't think we can.
No, I don't think we can.
I don't think I can. I think it's just for our own sake. If for the 5 people that hear this tomorrow, just even for our own sake, we got to talk this out because, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is going to get worse. unless we have some mature people into the room, which unfortunately we don't think we do.
I don't think so either.
But with that, just remember, guys, the sun will come out tomorrow. You know, it's not, you know, it's not as bad. This shit, we may talk shit, but come on, man.
Yeah.
It's time to, yeah.
Just pull it back. Just pull it back a little bit.
Yeah, that's it.
The tracks have been laid. Let's just roll it back.
You're quoting the great president of the United States currently, and he said, let's pull it back. And I think he's right. And I think Trump, I really hope they can have a moment where they shake hands and not necessarily bury the hatchet, but at least start showing some respect. Because guys, we don't want to fight each other. We won't win. China will win. Russia will win. Somebody else wins if we lose. Because we will lose no matter what happens. So with that being said, we're gonna probably be back. We'll probably try to do something else again, probably in a week. See if we can get another show in
We'll
Friday.
see, man. It's fucking hard now, but yeah,
it's crazy. We might try to get another one on Friday. If we'll hopefully we can kind of have some more answers about what happened, where this guy came from, but also just to see, maybe pray. Maybe that's it, right? At the end of this, we just all hope and pray that someone became mature.
Maybe there'll be unity, right?
Maybe
there'll be unity. Maybe Trump and Biden will come out, you know, doing like this victory hand thing in the air and be like, you know what, we're one or something.
They take their clothes off and they just go at it.
That's
just in the name of unity.
I'd see that.
Yeah, just
two walruses just having
just rolling all over the floor, oiled up. The possibilities are endless, folks. But you know what? A couple years ago, I may have laughed and said that's not possible. Fuck it.
No, that's fucking possible.
Everything's on the table now. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a good night. Stay nice to each other. It's a lot of other things to worry about, guys. Make sure there's food on the table first.
Right.
Yeah. Late.